How do you get into top counseling graduate schools? Let's go ahead and talk about it today here on Publication Academy's Navigating Academia. What's up, Navigating Academia family? This is your buddy and personal academic mentor, as well as your grad school coach, Dr. Phoenix Singh. Today we're going to be talking about the 8 things that you need if you're interested in getting into one of the top counseling graduate school programs in the country. Now, getting your master's in counseling is something that is exceptionally difficult in this day and age. Acceptance rates legitimately are at an all-time low. It is so hard to get into one of these programs that a lot of the rules in terms of the rule book of getting in that have been established over the last 20, 30 years, the rule book is gone. So many people come to me every single year because I'm a grad school application coach, right? Literally, if you go to gradschoolapplicationcoach.com, you'll end up coming up with my consult page. So I help people apply to these programs and give them career advice. And I can tell you that over the last several cycles, the number of individuals who have applied to 10, 15, 20 programs and get 10, 15, 20 rejections, even with really good backgrounds, is mind-boggling to me. So because of that, I wanted to make this video for you because I've been doing this for so long and I've seen what works to be able to add value to your lives by giving you these 8 different recommendations. Now, this right here is the bullshit button. There you go. And I can tell you very much that a lot of the advice that's out there right now is BS. Why? Because they're things that worked when individuals who are in career services or are faculty mentors or are life mentors who, let's say, are counselors themselves, when they were actually applying, these things were relevant. But now, even if you have them, you won't get in. So for example, there's something that I call the 5 lies. Let's go through these 5, and what you're going to learn is essentially that having all 5, you must have all 5. But if you do, it still won't get you into any programs. Let's talk about it. Number 1, GPA. Good GPA. What do I mean by good? Well, the operational definition is really going to differ depending on the programs you're applying for. Let's just say that you're applying for 3 to 5 programs, which is what I recommend. A lot of people say, Dr. Singh, you're out of your mind. Out of your mind, I got to apply to at least 10, otherwise I won't get in anywhere. Ironically, you're shooting yourself in the foot. Guys, I've been doing this for 20 years, right? Why do I say that? Because you won't spend enough time establishing the goodness of fit, doing a deep dive and building enough personal connections to get into those programs because there's just too darn many. Please, 3 to 5 and really focus on those 3 to 5 and you will max out your chances of getting accepted. Contact whoever the grad school counselors or admissions officers are in that department for that program, and I want you to ask them about the first 2 of these. Number 1 is the median GPA of the past 2 cohorts that have been accepted to that program. If you can score at the median or above, you're fine. If you have a 4.0 GPA, but let's say the median is a 3.7, let's just say, right, and you have a 3.7, don't worry, that person with a 4.0 is not so far above you or anything like this. A lot of people think that. It's not true. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, right, is median or above test scores. Let's just say that this particular program, really rigorous, really hard to get in, they require a test like the GRE. If that's the case, I want you to follow the same protocol. All right, ask them, what was the median? If you can score at the median or above, you're all good in the hood. If you need to learn how to be able to score well in the GRE from somebody who is awful at taking standardized tests, but got a phenomenal score on the GRE, please get in touch with me. I've got a 3-month program that I take people through because it is brutal these days to be able to score well on these tests. That's number 2. Third thing of the 8 that you need is amazing letters of recommendation. And you need 3, and it's going to give you a 360-degree view of this entire process, all right, in terms of you. We need 1 person to write about you academically, 1 person to write about you clinically, 1 person to write about you from a research perspective, all right? Now, if you don't have number 4 and 5, which is practical experience and research experience, you need to get a minimum of 1 semester of both before you apply in order to be really competitive. You may say, yeah, but Dr. Singh, like, I don't want to be a researcher. I get it, but presumably if you're going to be a practitioner, you're going to use evidence-based practices, all right? And those are just that. Evidence-based. You need to learn how the evidence, the research literature, actually gets established and the best way to do it, and what these grad schools are going to see as really amazing evidence that you care about scholarship and evidence-based practices is getting research assistant positions. even if it's in labs that are only adjacent to counseling or to anything related to mental health. For example, I ended up doing a summer research internship at Yale, which was in behavioral genetics, right? Really only marginally related, but still it was something where my grad schools that I applied to, top programs in the United States, top grad schools internationally, I ended up going to Oxford for my first of 2 PhDs. You know, really, this is one thing that they really pointed out, is that they love to see that I was passionate about the generation of new knowledge, all right? So that is research experience, at least one semester. Same thing with practical experience, anything where you're working with a vulnerable population. If you can't, become a behavioral technician at a hospital, let's say, or maybe your school has a, clinical internship program for seniors, fantastic, do that. If you can't find anything, join a hotline, a crisis text line, anything, but make sure that whatever you do, that you have some kind of a supervisor, and that supervisor knows that you would be honored if they would write a letter of recommendation for you, provided you do a phenomenal job, all right? So those are the 5 things that I refer to as the 5 lies, because if you have all 5, traditionally people would tell you, you've got this in the bag, you're gonna get in.
Bullshit detected. Take precaution.
I'm telling you, I wish that was true, but unfortunately, it is just not anymore. You need more, especially if you want to get into a top program. So what do you need? I say that there's 3 things. First one, conference paper or poster presentations. If you can't get a paper presentation, that would be really the gold standard. And you get a poster, God bless, that's still great. But make sure it's not at one of your university's conferences or an undergraduate research conference. No, it's got to be at a national or an international conference that's known, liked, and trusted by experts in your field, the tippy top of the field. Where are they going? That's where you want to apply. A lot of people have a lot of imposter syndrome about that. And also number 7, which is the ability to publish peer-reviewed publications like journal articles. I'll tell you, I get it. I was scared too. I felt like I'm not a wizard, I'm not a professor yet. Who am I? And so forth. We think we're not ready. But I can tell you right now that you can do it. The best online training platform for learning how to be able to do that in a step-by-step and easy to understand way is Publication Academy, right? This www.publicationacademy.com. I'm telling you right now, it will change your life as an academic, especially if you want to get into graduate school. Loads of trainings on there. I give a whole bunch of them. So if you like my style, you're going to love that as well. Okay, so 6 and 7, conference papers and posters, and peer-reviewed publications. And last but not least, personal connections. To the extent possible, I want you to get to know not the admissions committee folks, if you can, and not really the folks who are kind of, the admissions counselors whose job it is basically to market the program. You want to figure out who is your target supervisor within each program and get in touch with them and go and visit them one-on-one, right? If you can't go visit the school itself, see what conferences they usually go to. You can usually get a sense of their favorite conferences by looking at their CV. And at that stage, what you can do is go to those conferences, provided they're going to be speaking there, meet with them one-on-one, and then email them every 3 to 4 months thereafter. A personal connection is not emailing somebody 3 months before, the summer before you're applying and telling them, I love your stuff, I'm going to be applying. You're going to get a really nice email back and you're going to say, oh my gosh, they're looking out for my application. I'm telling you right now, all of us who are grad school supervisors, all of us have like a template on our desktop, and we just copy and paste that and put your name at the top. All right, I know it makes you feel really, really good, and I'm sorry to break it to you, but that's the truth. And one thing you guys will always find out about me on this channel, if you're not subscribed already, please do, is that I always shoot you straight. All right, guys, that's it for me. If you want to get in touch with me and have a one-on-one session, go to www.gradschoolapplicationcoach.com. I appreciate the heck out of you, and I hope you have a great day. Don't forget to get out there and be your best self. God bless. See you in the next one. Peace. Thank you so much for stopping by, everyone. It's a pleasure to have you here as always. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more in this series on navigating academia, please click on one of these links over here to be able to view more original content. I hope to see you there.